The biggest struggle for basketball players is confidence. And to even prove my point, I made a poll and asked you guys, what is your biggest struggle in basketball? The numbers don't lie. And you know, I struggled with confidence for a large part of my life. But once I learned these 7 things, I was never the same. The first piece of advice that I have for you is confidence is preparedness. For myself personally, whenever I have a good warm-up before a game, I get some shots up, I get to feel the ball. Whenever I'm prepared, I feel great. Same thing if I have a test in school. If I know I studied a lot, if I worked really hard, I'm gonna feel good going into that test. That affects your confidence. Confidence is preparedness. So if you want a cheat code to confidence, be prepared. The second piece of advice I have for you also relates to your warm-up. See the ball go in during your warm-ups. Stop trying to jack up far threes or from half-court shots in your warm-ups. Stop doing that. That's not efficient. What I want you to do in your warm-ups is do some form shooting. See the ball go through the net. See the ball swish. Hear the sounds. All that good stuff is going to help you in being confident. You may be surprised how much it really affects you seeing what you want. That's why we practice things like visualization and meditation and stuff like that for basketball. The more you see it, the more you believe it. Number 3, take these words out of your vocabulary. Can't, I suck, and never. These 3 words will hold you back in anything you try to do in this life. Henry Ford said it one time, whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. So we need to change that part of our vocabulary. Stop saying can't. Tony Robbins has something that he does with people whenever he has those live events. You know Tony Robbins, right? The big motivational speaker guy, that guy. He has this little exercise that he does with people.
Now do this. I want you to look around this room right now and find everything in this room that you can find that is brown as fast as you can. Look for brown, look for brown, look for brown, look for brown. Look around you, look for brown, look for brown, look for brown. Okay, close your eyes. I'm going to give you a test. With your eyes closed now, shout out loud everything you saw that was red. If you see a lot more brown right now than red, say yes. Open your eyes. Look for red now. I want you to really look for red. Look for red, look for red, look for red. Anything you can find that's red, look for red. All around you, look for red. Raise your hand if you found more red this time and say I. Why did you find more red this time? Because seek and you shall. That's right. Whatever you focus on, you're going to find it. In fact, let me tell you something. You'll even find it when it's not there. How many saw burgundy, called it red, just so you could have more things you counted? Raise your hand, say, aye, come on. Whatever you're looking for, you're going to find. So if you want to change your life, my friends, you got to change your physiology and you got to change your focus.
Your reality will warp itself into following what you believe. And I'm not saying, oh, this is like a manifestation or something. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that our minds are powerful enough to force our bodies to do things that we didn't think we could ever do before. If you are in the habit of saying, I suck, listen up right now, okay? You miss a shot. Damn, bro, I suck, dude. Stop saying that. Never say that again. You will never, and I mean never, see Steph Curry miss a shot and say, oh, I suck. Never. Most NBA players will never say that. I don't think any of them do, because their minds are strong. And they fortify their minds. They don't ever speak badly about themselves in basketball. They don't. They really don't. You will never see a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant. They would never say that. Now let's talk about never. Never is a horrible word because it is a powerful word. The more you say never, 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 the more it becomes true. It's not a manifestation. I don't believe in that crap. I do believe that we can tell ourselves what we are willing to do and what we are not willing to do, though. And now here's a verse. Ephesians 4:29, Paul says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. While we want to build other people up, let's build ourselves up too. We don't want any unwholesome talk to be towards ourselves either, right? Build yourself up. The fourth piece of advice actually comes from a lesson I learned from my brother. Do everything that is in your control to the best of your ability. In life and in sports, you can't control everything. Some things you just have to deal with. But when it really comes down to it, the successful people make do with what they have. They are resourceful people. And you need to become resourceful. Yeah, alright, you may not be able to control how many shots the other team makes because they could just have a really good game, but you can control your attitude all the way through it. You could say, oh, we're never going to win at this rate. Or you could say, alright, I'm going to play the hardest defense I can. We're going to try to get out in transitions, get something there. Number 5 is something that I learned recently. I had to learn this in my junior year of high school. Understand that you are human. Stop being so hard on yourself. Bottom line. I am one of the hardest people on myself, like, ever. I do not let myself live sometimes because of my mistakes. I get so down on myself because I expect so much of myself. And while I do believe that is a great thing, expecting a lot of yourself can push you to great heights, you have to have a balance between expecting a lot of yourself and understanding you're going to make mistakes along the way. And the perspective that I needed to change was, my old perspective was that whenever I make a mistake, that's a step backwards. But it's actually the other way around. Every mistake that you make will get you closer to your goals. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid that you're human. Number 6, anybody can be confident. Even you, Joseph. I don't know if there's any Josephs out there, but what's up? Anybody can be confident. Even you. People say, oh, you're either born with confidence or you're not, and that is just not true. I was not born with confidence. I struggled with it for years. And, well, it's an ongoing struggle. It's a process. It's not like a character trait that you either have or you don't, and it always stays that way. No. There's times when my confidence is low. There's ups and downs, but I think true confidence is not thinking, okay, I am going to have an amazing game every time I step on the court. While I think that's a great mindset, I don't think that's true confidence. What I believe true confidence is that you get on the court and you say, no matter what happens today, I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to be happy with the results because I know I gave it everything. That also goes with controlling everything that you can control. If you go on the court and put that much pressure on yourself, like, oh, I got to score this amount of points, I got to do this, and this, you're going to be all in your head. I mentioned this before. Confidence is a process. Confidence is not something that you can just grab out of the sky and now you're confident. No, I wish it was that easy. It's really not. Confidence is an ongoing process that lasts your whole life. It will never be perfect, but one day you can look at yourself and say, hey, I've improved. Let's break down the word itself. What does confidence mean? To confide means to trust. And if you are confident in yourself, that means you trust yourself. And I believe if you want to be confident in yourself, you have to treat yourself with the utmost respect. And that means you have to treat your body right. You have to eat the right food. You got to work out. You got to prepare for the games that you're about to get into. That's the utmost respect for yourself. And you know that whatever you set your mind to can be achieved. There's no such thing as never. The 7th piece of advice I have for you is a 6-step process, so bear with me. This 6-step formula is something that I learned from the book The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. The first step is for the next 24 hours, speak hopefully about everything. Everything. I don't care if you don't believe what you're saying or not. Speak hopefully about anything and everything. What I noticed from this practice was I had to stop myself from saying negative things. We talk so negative without realizing it. I think I'm a positive person. I really do. But even with being positive, we allow negative stuff to slip. So this was really impactful for me. I had to mindfully watch every word that I said, and I could not speak negative about anything. And I think I did mess up a few times. The second step in this process is to continue that same practice for 1 week. After you do that, be realistic. What you will notice is that your old version of realistic was actually pessimistic. When I did this practice, I found that to be true as well. I look back at some of the things that I used to think was realistic, and I'm like, man, that's like the worst possible outcome. The third step is to feed your mind with nourishing thoughts. Be grateful, be happy, have faith. Those are nourishing, building thoughts. Remember to build yourself up with wholesome talk. Number 4 is a practical tip. Here's what you got to do. Find your Bible, go to the New Testament. Then once you get to the New Testament, start committing passages that relate to faith to your memory. I've highlighted, I've marked things up. I mean, you can look at this all through here, right? I've done that. Commit those passages to your memory. I noticed a huge difference in my life once I started doing that. I have things written on the wall up there. I have a whole sheet of paper. It has like 7 or 8 verses on there. I just read those every once in a while. Like, post up verses in your bedroom. Do something like that. Whatever you got to do to remember verses or to have some kind of I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me type of vibe. Like, whatever you got to do it. Number 5 is avoid arguments. You got to counter other people with positive opposing opinions. Don't get into a big debate that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You don't have to do all that. Just avoid arguments. Let your prayers be of thanksgiving. This is something that I like to practice. I just picture myself being God for a second and looking at myself praying. Would I like to hang out with this person? When you go to pray, don't say, you know, God, I'm so angry about this. I'm so angry about that. Why did you let this happen? Why are you doing this? This is so annoying. I'm so mad. Don't talk like that to God. When you're talking to God, yeah, you may have things that you're frustrated about, but go into your prayer with the sense of thanksgiving. I do believe that that gratitude will pour over into other aspects of your life. You'll find yourself becoming more grateful for the little things that people do for you, whether it be your mom or your dad helping you out with something, or, you know, the food that they put on the table, things like that you didn't even think about to be grateful for. You're just like, oh my gosh, I am so blessed. Alright, now that you know how to create basketball confidence, be sure to check out this video on how to dominate your basketball tryouts. But as always, keep God first. Good luck, bro.